This is Maginoni, and here's some comic reviews for you. First up, I'm just going to get rid of the comic I could not finish reading of the week, which is The Odyssey of the Amazons. Now, at first I thought, well, this will be pretty cool. It's Amazons. Amazons fight, and looks like it's going to be a battle issue. So it was great. So I'm reading this book here, and I'm like, okay, put you right in the middle of things. There's the Amazons, and then I see this one Amazon like, I'm a samurai, and we fight with passion. And I'm like looking at her face, and I'm like, she's wearing a mask. And then I'm thinking, why do I have a feeling she's going to be related to Katana in some way? So I'm just like going, already I'm in a bad mood when I'm reading this. I mean, the art was fine, lots of fighting. I could overlook this one part. Then I get to this part here where they're like, while we fought with you and stood by your side, please understand that the Amazon way is the way of peace. And I'm just like, this is such bullshit. It's like they're all loving war and they're loving killing. They're passionate about killing and fighting. And then they're like, oh, but our way is the way of peace. Bullshit. I was done with this book. I'm done. I am not buying issue 2. F you with your message of peace. That's bullshit. Please, Amazons, peace, while they're waging war and loving every second of it. Oh, God, man. Alright, anyways, Teen Titans number 4. This is the part where we're going to... Tim Drake is basically wanting to settle things without endangering his Teen Titans, his buddies, his pals. And, inadvertently what happens is, the Titans realize what Tim has done and such a noble person he is. And, they put aside their insecurities and then they decide to band together and, dare I say this, they call him friend at the end as they go to rescue him. And I'm just, as you can tell, I was in a bad mood from Amazons. It's alright book though, but nothing revolutionary, nothing that required any thought whatsoever. I've read that story before, and many of you have read the exact same story before, so that is disappointing. Alright, next up is Detective Comics 949. Now, this gives you more backstory about Batwoman and what it really does. It's basically just setting you up for her solo title, which, is fair. They need to do that anyways because there's the new readers who are jumping aboard on DC Rebirth, and it's a good idea once you get them hooked here to throw them at her new book. So that part was fine. Other than that, I mean, it's just an average read. I think as a whole, it was a letdown compared to the way the writing has been, which is a shame. Suicide Squad, Justice League, they're crossing over. This issue was just crazy because it's like Amanda is after her, family, her child. Her child doesn't want anything to do with her because, she feels that Amanda abandoned her. But Amanda's like, I gotta save you because somebody's out to kill you. And, I'm just like, oh my God. It's another one of these stories. And then there's a twist at the end. And then I'm just like going, here is another case where the writers could not think of anything. So they basically pulled an idea that's been done a billion times before it, slapped it in this book here, and they patted themselves on the back saying what a wonderful job we've done. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really, really disappointing. Really disappointing. Inhumans versus X-Men #3. Pretty much, I was really disappointed with Old Man Logan and Forge. They pretty much got owned by the new humans. Which, on one hand, I get it. They didn't have as much info or intel like they would have the other character, like the classic Inhumans. But at the same time, I'm like, you're Old Man Logan. Like, my God, how long have you been fighting and you get basically schooled by some youngster? The rest of the issue is just basically filling in details. This is where the Inhumans are. This is where Karnak is. This is where Black Bolt is. Overall, I mean, I hate to say it, it's better than Civil War 2, but it's still not leaps and bounds better. But it's still better. And it's on time. Hulk #2. I never thought I'd say it, but I actually look forward to reading this book compared to what I have been reading for the rest of this week. This actually was really, really cool. You have a character here who's basically on the verge of rampaging. And it's like you're watching the bull walk around the china shop. And you see a little kid with a firecracker. And he's trying to light the firecracker. And that's what this issue had. I mean, this is what the series has been like, at least these first two issues. You're just waiting for her to just go nuts. And you want to know what's going to be the trigger. Basically, what's happening is she's working a case where there's a landlord who's trying to get rid of a tenant who's kind of wacky. And bad things happen at the end. But overall, I mean, I'm really, really happy with this story. I mean, it's better. It's one of the better Marvel books that nobody's reading, but I fully understand why nobody's reading it. But overall, I'm really looking forward to seeing the direction it's going to go. But trust me, this thing can go south at a moment's notice, and it can also wear out its welcome. Infamous Iron Man #4. This is another one where I thought I would never really like, but I think it stands up overall. You have, because part of it is like, for an example, you knew Doc Ock was up to no good when he swapped bodies with Peter, and with this one, you have no idea what's going on with Dr. Doom. He claims he's reformed. He's got his face back. He's wearing the armor of Iron Man, but he's using magic at the same time. And he's not. It's not like he swapped bodies with Tony. He just swapped armor, and he's trying to do good. I mean, he really is trying to do good, and that's the part that's just the fascinating draw is you don't know if Victor is up to shenanigans. Is he reformed? And if he's reformed, what's gonna be the trigger to make him become a villain again? The ending was actually really good too. If you read issue #3, you knew basically his mother's becoming involved, and his Dr. Doom's mother was actually a weak point to the character. And then there was a graphic novel where I think it was a Dr. Doom graphic novel where once a year he basically can go to hell and fight for his mother, so this way he can try to bring her back. And every year he failed type thing. So that just showed you at the time, what his mother meant to him. And now she's back, and she's actually now going to play a part in this book. So that's what's also really fascinating about it. And I would, if you haven't already looked for it, or I'm sure they've probably reprinted it by now, but definitely look for it. It's an old graphic novel. It wasn't like a mini-series trade thing. It only came out as an original graphic novel, and it was really good overall. It was like a different side of Doctor Doom because, like I said, he was using his magic side more than the science side. Doctor Strange number 16. This was basically him meeting Dormammu for the first time, or Dormammu, and they kind of changed the origin a little bit from what I can remember. And the fight between the two was interesting because, you know, Strange doesn't have his full magic yet, but he was still able to pull off a win. And they had a nice little twist thing at the end, too, which I thought, okay, I give that a okay. I approve of that. But then this part here was just basically, if anything, this to me was putting Dormammu into the timeline, so to speak, and versus, you know, like, and then once they put that character in, then they can go on with the main part of the story, because they still have other things he's got to deal with. But, you know, I guess you can say it's several months late from the movie, but still, great issue. Thanos number 3 versus the Imperial Guard. Wow, man. Okay, now granted, Thanos always gets beat by the Earthbound, you know, Marvel Universe superheroes. So it was really cool to see the Imperial Guard take their shot on Thanos. And overall, they did a really good job at you know, keep beating him down. But you know, keep in mind he was already at a weakened state, so you know, they sensed that there was something going on with that. But they still needed Gladiator to come in and basically save the day for him. Overall, I thought the art was good, the fighting was good. Not much of a story, since it was pretty much just an issue of fight. Overall, really enjoyed it. Much better than I thought it was going to be also. So anyways, there is some comic reviews for you. Let me know what you guys liked, what you didn't like this week. We'll have some more stuff later. So until next time.